strap into the party wagon and hold on to your pizza.
Rise and shine, my sinners. When Father Evil starts his day, he gets a little deadly. Deadly Grounds coffee has the richest, smoothest flavor you'll find anywhere. It's sinfully delicious. Once you go deadly, you never go back. Order yours at getdeadly.com. Coffee's so good, it's scary.
Welcome back to Epic Tales from the Sewers. I'm your host, Justin, with a very special guest host here, Mr. Drew Mollo. Say hello, Drew.
Hi, everybody. I'm sorry. My phone keeps dropping. Hello. I'm so excited to be back. Hi.
Professional as ever. So we have a very special guest joining us today. It's artist Fero Pe with his covers for TMNT Armageddon Game opening moves number 1 and 2, the Armageddon Game issue number 8, and the series artist from 133 to 139. He's also worked on books Joe Palooka, Skylanders, and one of my personal favorites, Strawberry Shortcake. Welcome, Fero. How are you? I'm not kidding. I'm a big Strawberry Shortcake fan. So,
hello everybody. Thanks for having me here. I'm really happy. I'm really excited to share a little time with you guys.
Now, you've got some exciting work that everyone's going crazy about, and it caught a lot of people by storm, which is the Stranger Things Ninja Turtles crossover. Are you sick of talking about this already?
No, it's actually my first time. I know.
How can you be sick? The first issue isn't even out till next week.
Yeah, that's right. It comes out on the 11th, I believe.
11th, 12th, next week. You know, time is an illusion.
It is.
But yeah, and it's so funny because Fero, you're joining this long tradition of Turtles crossovers. I mean, we've seen the Turtles, who are just heroes in a half shell. They've crossed over with Ghostbusters, Stan Sakai. They've crossed over with as you know, because you did some of the variants for it. They've done the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and now Stranger Things. And
Street Fighters. There's 3 of these going on at the same time. I think Power Rangers just ended,
mm-hmm.
right? And you've got with Usagi Yojimbo, and you've got with Street Fighter, and we're going to have another book on the shelves, which is the Stranger Things, which is amazing.
So you've worked, and Fero, you've worked with the Turtles. You worked with back on when you were working with Nickelodeon, and then you're back working with them now, but you're also doing Stranger Things. So, in an interview, your writer Cameron Chittock was talking about how he didn't remember how this origin started, but the second that it fell in his lap, he was like, were you just as excited when they're like, "Hey, do you want to draw this?"
Well, I was excited to continuing working with the Turtles because that's what I really wanted. And when my editors told me that they wanted to have me to do this crossover, I was like, well, that's great, but this is I was kind of scared because I actually don't like to draw real people.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. So was that challenging?
I was like nervous, but they told me that they don't need to be real accurate with the actors, with the real actors. So that gave me more confidence, and I tried to draw like the basics of each character. Like, one is real tall, and 11 is more like skinny and younger and short, and things like that. No?
Okay.
But and the real challenge with the turtles, with the style that we are going to give to these turtles, the Mirage era,
right?
Because they told me we wanted the original designs. I was more familiar with the style of the name of.
You're talking about the cartoon show
No,
where they
no,
had different
no,
colors instead of all
no.
red.
I knew the comics, but I was more familiar with the back in my head. And how's that is with
Oh yeah, Michael Dooney.
Michael Jr. Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
I really like that style, and I started
Oh, me
Mhm.
to
too. It's
make
my favorite.
some sketches with that style, and my editor said no, more like the originals, more
Okay.
shorter. They have to look more like a teenagers. Okay, the more shorter,
Okay.
then a little more skinny,
Hmm.
big head. And
Right.
I did several sketches until we have the final look that we are like.
Now, maybe about a year ago, we had seen a crossover action figures that had started showing up in stores, where it was the kids from Stranger Things, and the Ninja Turtles. Did you have any hand in that creation?
Mm, and it was weird because I actually saw these toys, and when I started the comic, I totally
Mhm.
forgot about them.
Oh
Oh
no!
wow.
Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't look exactly like it, but they do have more of a Mirage style to them.
yeah.
So it looks
Hmm.
like that was kind of always the idea of going into. So
Yeah, that was the idea, but it was something I messed it up. And later when I started, and I, oh yes, the toys, and this one and that they were talking about with me,
Hmm.
and it was easy from that point later.
that's cool.
So, so when you were doing kind of research, did you just kind of have like on one table you had like, Laird and Eastman's original run, and then on the background you had like season 1, 2, and 3 of Stranger Things, and you're just like you're going, you're just basically doing that research. Was that hard for you to kind of find that middle ground where the styles meshed?
Mm, well, it was my editors give me the a compendium, the first Mirage
Mhm.
era run of Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, and
Right.
from that I was like taking the some part of the styles. If you
Hmm.
look at my style in the ongoing series is very
Right.
different from this style, and I was making, it's not exactly the same style, but I
Right.
try to give something very similar.
Okay. Cool.
I was thinking about what Drew was asking there, and it's a good point, because when you think of how the humans looked in the Mirage books, they look very different than kind of like a realistic style that I've
Hmm.
seen in like the lead ups to the book. So I was thinking about that. I'm like, yeah, that is a good question. Like, is April gonna look how she looks? Is Casey gonna look how they look? We don't even know if they're gonna be in the book because we haven't seen that much. But at least I don't know. But I am gonna ask, did you hide any Easter eggs in there that the fans can find?
Ooh, there's a lot of Easter eggs.
Yeah, he can't
All
tell you
right.
that. He's
Yeah,
probably signing an NDA. He can't tell. He can't say that. He wants to write more turtle
there
books,
is
Justin.
Well, we're
Like
not asking about plot.
sneaky
We're just asking
journalism
if
right
they're there.
there.
Yeah, we just want to know if they're there, because when like we go through the last Ronin book with Ben Bishop, and I mean he hid Kevin and Peter, and he hid the party wagon, and Kino was in it. When the
Mhm.
cast of aliens. So it's like you never know. So now if
Yeah,
you know they're there, you'll look for
it's true.
them.
Um, so your collaborator Cameron was talking about the character dynamics, like how certain members of Stranger Things are paired with certain turtles, like Donatello paired with Dustin, Will and Leo, for example. So, like, what was that like? You're channeling two characters, who are somewhat similar. Like, was finding that kind of energy like difficult, or once you had like your vision, was that just Like it just clicked because, like again in the interview I read, your collaborator had just high praise that he was essentially shitting bricks until he saw your designs and he was like, "Okay, we're good. We got a comic. All right." He got it.
That's funny because when the script it was really good, and it was easy for me to making work together.
Mhm.
The script is very clear, and the expressions and the it was easy for me thanks to Cameron.
Right.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So I think it
And
was a good teamwork that he inspired with my drawings, and I inspired with his script.
I was wondering if they have similar facial expressions. Like, can you do something with Donatello and Dustin where they have a similar face expression, or do you have to get as close as you can?
It's more like I don't know. It's like no, it's different because the turtles is from this style. They are not
Mhm.
very expressive. It's that's
It's
Right.
that's
yeah,
something that is really hard for me because I have to make it not look every all the time angry because in the first
Right.
place it's always with the that kind of mouth that is
So
close and showing the tits.
oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So when I was kind of thinking about how you have the turtles and then you have this idea of the upside down, and that Stranger Things is a lot of inspiration in horror, Stephen King and whatnot. Doing our research, we saw that you yourself are a bit of a horror fan. Some of your fan work, like Halloween Ends, there was some Ghostbusters. We saw you're a big Spawn fan. Same here. Um, are you being what appears to be a horror fan? Um, was this kind of one of those, I don't know if dream come true kind of projects, but this was like, wow, this is really like, you're collaborating you're basically kind of like working on your own personal horror movie. So what was that like as what appears to be a horror fan?
Well, I'm not actually a big horror fan because
Okay.
I like to draw that kind of things, and
Hmm.
the spawn. I like to make these tentacles, and
Hmm.
it's really fun for me, and I really enjoy doing the drawing the Demogorgons and
yeah.
Right.
all these kind of things, and I love the turtles and
Yeah. I mean, one of the biggest highlights when I was reading some of the preview pages was, when you have the kids in the subway and they come across demo dog mousers.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm just thinking like that is the craziest, coolest crossover. And then you match that early Laird, I don't know if it was Laird or Eastman style,
It's
where I was
literally
like, wow,
both of them together. Yeah.
these are some 1985 looking mousers, but they're so
Yeah.
much more terrifying than I remember reading them when I was a kid in the 90s. So I was like, holy shit, that's genius. Like, so like that was, I was like,
I
man, they're
do have
bring
a question about Mausers.
yes.
Pharaoh, how would you destroy a Mauser if a Mauser's coming at you? Maybe like three Mausers are coming at you. How would you take it out?
Well, I think that they will take me
Oh, they
first
would
with the
take you.
mouse.
He's not even gonna, nope.
He's an artist, not a fighter.
No,
Okay.
he had a good run.
Yeah.
He will be remembered. The,
Yeah.
the royalties will pay for his funeral.
It's all right. We asked Eric Burnham, and I think he said he'd step on it. Something I forget what he said, but
it sounds like Eric.
yeah.
Um, so when we were doing some of our research, kind of to deviate a little bit from the turtles just briefly, because I've never read a strawberry shortcake in my life, but Justin said that you worked on the comic book adaptation for the movie Megamind.
Yeah, it was. Oh, this was a long time ago.
Hmm.
It was on
Yeah, was it
my
like
my
2011
first
or
gigs
something?
in the it's like my second gig in the comic industry, and it was like something big.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, it was a lot of expectation for this movie, and but I think the movie it have a competition with is Minions, no the
It
second
probably
Yeah.
the
was,
second,
yeah.
Minions.
and I think that the Minions it went better with than Megamind. It was not
It's got a
the
good
huge
story.
hit. I really liked the
Yeah.
story, but it
Like
was really complicated working with DreamWorks and the all these big franchise, and it was really hard.
so, something that I could ask you then is that I myself have collected a couple of movie adaptation comics, over the years. And are you allowed to do anything different, or are you as just essentially adapting the movie in like 40 to 60 pages? Because like I know that sometimes they allow like the artists or the writers to incorporate deleted scenes, things that weren't able to be in the movie. Did you have like when you're working on the adaptation where it was just like adapt this, take this 1 hour 40 something minute movie, make it a comic? Or was there any leeway like?
No, I think it's different from different movie or different studios.
Mhm.
Maybe that part that you say that then they incorporate in the little scenes, the
Right.
little is
Mhm.
because the when the comic is in the process of making, the
Mhm.
movie isn't finished, and maybe that
Okay.
scene is not cut it off the final product.
Mhm.
Um, but it's different. It's different, and in this case with the DreamWorks, they were really meticulous with the details, the
Right.
colors, and some things that didn't work in comics, like some colors from Megamind that they wanted this specific tone of color with in the costume
Right.
and look all black, and well we need something that make more contrast, and they
Yeah.
know we
It's like
can do that.
Wolverine's hair for years. It has those blue highlights because it doesn't look good if it's all black.
Right.
Yeah,
you know the
That's
things
cool.
that don't like you said, Farrell, the things that don't translate well from the page or to the stage to the big screen or vice versa. Like there are always limits and certain things. It's like the same thing with when you're adapting a comic. It's hard to do thought bubbles. Narratively they make a lot of sense, but you can't just have giant clouds pop up and let people's voices
Well, apparently
um
you've never read an 80s X-Men comic. So,
yeah,
right? You know,
uh,
Chris Claremont with the narrator
yeah.
and all that.
excuse me.
I'm just
I,
kidding. He
I've read.
absolutely
Excuse me. I've
has.
read enough.
Yeah.
I've read enough. Okay. Thank you very much. But speaking of Ferro, we also know that you're a big X-Men fan. I believe
Yeah,
Justin said big Gambit fan you are. Um,
totally.
and are you excited
He's got
for?
Gambit's glove on, looks like.
Yeah,
Totally.
Right? Yeah.
yeah, exactly. If he starts throwing playing cards, we'll know that he wants to. The interview is over. Um, Are you excited for the new series? Because I seem to recall one of your fan art was from the cartoon, the one in the '90s. So with the sequel, I think coming out soon, right, Justin? Like,
August or October, something like that.
yeah.
X-Men 97.
Are you excited? Are you going to tune in, or are you like some of the other fans? Like, no, we're good. We had 4 seasons. We don't need more. We're fine.
They had more than 4, they had 6.
Yeah, I'm excited, but I think I was excited when they announced it, but now it's like something like okay, I want to see it if
Yeah, exactly.
when it happens, but they took a long time. But yeah, I want to. see why they come from
Hmm.
this cartoon, because it was my favorite, and I was not
Yeah.
I don't blame you
major
at all. It's
It
one of
with
those things. Whenever somebody asks me personally, besides Daredevil, who would you like to see the Turtles cross over with? And I say the X-Men from the cartoon series. It makes the most sense. It's
would
yeah,
be
it's
cool.
the same, sort of stories and angles they can go in. They're all mutants. It's
yeah,
it's right there. It's like
it's
you've got
logical.
Beast, and you know that would be cool, right? And get you on that one.
Totally, it was
Oh man.
something like, I don't know what it didn't happen yet.
Yeah, why it hasn't happened yet is a good, but we're getting hopefully more of these crossovers. It's happening. We've got the Street Fighter and Usagi Yojimbo and all that. The other one that seems pretty obvious to me, seeing as how Stranger Things is a Dark Horse comic, would be Hellboy. Who they, I mean, he's crossed over with Savage Dragon before, who has crossed
Yeah.
over with Turtles before. So
Hmm.
how about that? Would you ever have an interest in doing a Hellboy crossover?
With the turtles,
Well, just in general, like that's this. There's always tentacles in Hellboy, man. So you can
Yeah.
draw all the Lovecraftian
And
monsters that you
how
wanted.
cool would it be to do it in this style? The same style from like the 84 Mirage Turtles translated into Hellboy. That
Oh,
would be
that would be
really, really
cool.
cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
I'm
Because they've
big.
done Kappa before, which is the the demon of the river, I think, in Japan,
Hmm.
in Hellboy. But
Yes, they
I've
have.
never seen. Yeah, they've done anthropomorphic frogs too. So
Yes, sea destruction. Yeah.
yep.
Oh, yeah, but yeah. So, would you ever do some? Would you ever like if Dark Horse was like, hey, do you want to do a Hellboy comic? You'd be like, sure, let's do it.
yeah, will be cool. That
Nice.
will be really cool.
Now, I was a big fan of your run. So issues 133 through 139, and
Hmm.
you're doing the Turtles while Armageddon game's going on. Your covers were absolutely phenomenal. There's one I think that's more iconic than all of them, which is Donatello and Nobody, and they're on. I forget which one that is. I don't know if it's 138 or whatever, but it is gorgeous. So it's Donatello kind of standing there with his bow staff, and then Nobody is behind him, and she's got kind of like a black purple like super suit. Think like Iron Man. That is a gorgeous
Angel, no,
cover.
it's Angel.
Angel, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, gorgeous cover. I'm like, wow, this is like I'm gonna hang that on my wall. It's so nice. Hopefully, if you're doing shows, you're making those as prints because those are just outstanding. In the interior art, I loved it because you got to play with like a lot of the 10 cuts where they're doing like their Power Ranger hand things, and Donatello's reversing gravity, and you've got Dark Leo. I mean, not really since Mateus Santaluco have we really seen much Dark Leo. So you got to kind of sink into that. Was that a fun character for you, or was he a pain in the neck?
No, no, I don't remember that. I draw the Dark Leon. I think that was more in the Armageddon
Oh,
game.
that was in the Armageddon game. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, but in the last issue, the 139, yeah, I really enjoyed that issue. It was my
that was a really
last
good
one,
issue.
and I I tried to do something different because in the first issue that I drew, I was really nervous because it's totals. Yeah,
Oh,
I
one
don't
second.
know. I
Hold on, I
was
think we're having a.
very. Do you hear me?
Um, it broke up there for a second. What, you said something about the first issue?
Yeah, in the first issue that when I started drawing the turtles, I was really nervous, and with the pass of the issues, and I feel like I was gaining confidence. And with the last issue, I wanted to do something really special for me. And the script of Sophie, it was really great, and with all these flashbacks, and I given this style more like a watercolor.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Like
That
Sophie's
was
work.
my, yeah. I really enjoy doing that. final pages.
Yeah, it's nice. It has almost kind of like a Japanese feel to it, almost like a little bit with that watercolor, and I like a lot of it. I think that the colorist is using some great colors in there, and it's I don't know if that's Rhonda Pattinson. I'm not sure who is the
Yeah, I was
colorist on
wrong.
the issue. Was it Rhonda? Yeah,
Uh,
using awesome stuff, and it's just it hits, and I mean this is the last book before a new section, a new takeover by Gavin Smith, and so the whole tone changes. And I can't wait. I mean, Armageddon game just came out yesterday. I have to go get it so I could read it to find out what happens.
Yeah,
So, we're just at that point. But
I don't know how it
man,
ends.
you do or don't?
he does
No, I
not,
don't.
Oh no,
I don't
okay.
know.
and he will not say anything more.
Well, no, it's fine. I mean, I can read it, so that's
Uh,
the fun part for me. I got my
Yeah, but
Usagi
I like
Yojimbo
that. I
crossover
like
already
that,
written.
and that page book is. I was working in digital all the time, and
mhm.
with that final pages, I decided to go back to making traditional way in paper, and that I really missed that part of the
That's
paper and
awesome.
inks. And
And
I
now you can
decided,
sell the original artwork.
yeah,
Huh.
that
And that's
that's a
huge.
good thing. And I decided when I started with Stranger Things TMNT to do it in traditional way too. So all the comic is making traditional way. Only the screen tones dots are digital.
Mhm.
That's so great.
That's awesome.
I know they've alluded to a couple characters that are in there. Are we allowed to ask you if Splinter's in it? Like, is that something you can disclose at this point, or?
Justin.
Well, I was just curious. You could say no, so probably not. Okay, can't
Oh,
ask that. But I know
but
Baxter Stockman
Yeah,
said
yeah.
he's
we,
he's
yeah.
This is Splinter.
okay. Yeah, I was just curious because we haven't seen what he looks like, and I'm super interested to see what your Splinter looks like. But I guess I can wait until next week. That is not a problem. So.
I'm excited. And and I was going to ask, so Pharaoh, because I've always been curious about this, because it's one thing when you're doing like the interiors, you have 6 panels of work, you can fill it whatever, you have a script doing, but when you're doing a cover, is there like do you do you spend like some time sketching it out, kind of waiting for that vision of what you think the cover should be? Do you get input from the creators on ideas, or do you just kind of wait for an image to be like, that's it, that's my cover, that's what I'm going to draw? Like, what's the process there when you're creating like a combo cover?
Um, in the ongoing series of the Turtles, they
Hmm.
they give me this is going to happen in this issue.
Okay.
Okay, and then that give me some ideas so I can work with,
Okay.
and I make 2 3 sketches and send them to the
Hmm.
editors. And sometimes they like two, and oh, I like this one for this issue, but this one is good, so that could work for the next issue too. And so
Oh, okay.
yeah, in the in and with the Stranger Things crossover, and they give
Hmm.
me all the freedom so I can came with the ideas. They give me, what do you think we could do for the first cover?
Right.
For me, I make two more options for the cover of the issue number one.
Hmm.
Uh, but the first image idea I have, that was the one that they picked for the cover,
That's
the one
great.
that you see.
Yeah.
And we've seen that already, I believe, which is kind of like the split with the upside down turtles and the
Right.
Stranger Things.
Hmm.
It's a great
Yeah,
cover. Absolutely.
I,
yeah.
I will say I did love that one, but I also love the one, I think it's Will and Donnie, and it looks like they're playing their role playing game, and their characters
It's a very
in
good
it.
cover.
I was
Yeah.
like, man, that is just And
They
it's
play
so
they play in Dungeons and Dragons, right?
yeah, they're playing Dungeons and Dragons, and it's just so weird because the story is taking place like in between, like I believe Cameron said it's like taking place between like season 2 and 3, so they're still young-ish. Shit hasn't gone completely horrible yet, but
Yeah.
it's got pretty bad, and I'm like, oh my god, they were so young.
And if you think of it, Drew, in that same time period, if it's taking place probably before issue, I don't know, 8 or 6 or whatever of the Mirage Turtles,
Right,
Shredder's dead already. So
right.
it's like there's no point in asking if he's going to show up. If he does, like my top will blow. I'll be like, "What?" Because if this is the 1985 Turtles, it's like Batman Year One. So that's why it's pretty interesting.
Oh, listen, and anything's possible in the Upside Down, Justin.
Yeah, yeah,
Like shit gets crazy up there. That's why it's
that's
flipped upside down.
yeah, yeah. No,
Ooh.
I know. I just rewatched the first season of Stranger Things, so I'm excited for it. You know,
I
Um,
mean,
but kind of going back to Turtles, but not necessarily Stranger Things. Were you a fan of Turtles growing up? What's your kind of origin story? How did you get into the Turtles?
I'm a big fan of the Turtles from always, and I remember the first time I saw the Turtles. It was the first movie.
mhm.
My my dad take me and my brothers to movies, and we see this weirdest thing that the turtles, and it was awesome. I remember that after the movie, I when I was in my home, the first thing that I did is take a paper and drew Raphael.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So it
that's
was
cool.
awesome for me. It was really awesome. And later, after that, then the cartoon
Mhm.
appears in the TV, and that Christmas I asked for all the turtles. Santa only give me two.
Which two were your first?
And Raphael, Rocksteady.
Oh, cool.
No, Bebop.
Bebop.
Yeah. Well,
I know you mentioned the Nintendo game too, the Mutants Manhattan.
yeah, I like the turtles, but the video games, but I don't have it. I don't
Y-
have, but and the one that I really like is Turtles in Time. That from
Yeah,
it's my favorite.
Definitely,
It was the best.
absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Turtles
that
in
I think
Time.
that's probably considered to be the best one. The new one, Shredder's Revenge. I was just playing it a little bit today. It's fun to just pick up and play for a little bit, and good music, all that. That's good.
And
So, Raph, I'm guessing Raphael is your favorite.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
That's a point for you, Eric, when you listen to this. So, my
uh,
my my co-host Eric, when he's here, we usually go back and forth of whose favorite turtle. His favorite is Raph. My favorite is Leo. Your favorite, Drew, is
oh, the red one.
okay. So Raphael. So yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
It's just funny because when he was telling the story, I just remembered my mother for some reason did not like the turtles in my household. She was like and I quote, thought they were kind of dumb.
Oh
And
boy.
I found that to be no, and I found that to be really funny because me being a kid, like I was obsessed with Ghostbusters. Like that was my jam. Like just like you, I remember seeing that movie when I was a kid. I watched the cartoon. I asked for a proton pack for Christmas. I got the proton pack. I always kept trying to sneak it to school with me so I could just walk around and just be like, I got this, George Washington Elementary. If there is a ghost, junior Ghostbuster in the house, like fuck y'all. Um,
Jeez.
but and I found that funny because my mom had no trouble with that, with Street Sharks, which are essentially kind of making fun of the turtles, like all these things. But the turtles is where she drew the line. She was like, no.
Well, the
And
Street Sharks were endorsed by Vin Diesel, so
it's true. He did sell he did sell those toys, and he did not once say family, and I was proud of him.
did your mom take you to see the Ninja Turtles movie like Pharaoh's
No,
dad took him? No.
again,
Wow.
The only reason that I have a Raphael figure, which is promptly still shown on my dresser in my old room of all my action figures and things, is I think to irritate my mother
Oh boy.
anytime she goes in there to dust. Just so, and it's funny because I kind of baited a friend of mine to get me that for my birthday. And I still had him. And I was just like, oh, we're going to put you right here as a nice reminder that where there is a will, there is a way, Mom. So suck it.
Oh jeez. Okay.
You know, but so Farrah, I get how you feel. Like you just see that thing and you just run with it.
Yeah.
And even when I was finally able to go to cons as a Ghostbuster, it was the best. And it's funny because when I was seeing it, that you've been to conventions, so you've met people, done photos and whatnot. So you're kind of living that dream. You were a fan, and now you're in the industry. So congrats, you made it, man. Good for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Who would be what would be, besides the Turtles, your dream job? Like, is it Batman? Is it Spider-Man?
X-Men.
Is it X-Men?
I'm
Like,
betting
what would be
X-Men.
Yeah, it was X-Men for a long time. When I started in the industry of making comics and all this, my final goal, it was the Marvel and doing X-Men. But with the time, I always made in the samples for Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But in my free time, I always was drawing Ninja Turtles.
Nice.
So I decided that, well, maybe I really want to do the turtles, and started to follow that thing, and started to send samples to Tom Waltz and to Kevin Eastman,
Mm-hmm.
to see how can I be part of this, because I really love the turtles, and I just wanted to do one variant cover, and I was with that. I will be happy. But
Right.
I was really lucky to being picked to do.
Did you get a chance? Have you got a chance to meet either Kevin or Peter, and just kind of like shake their hand and just be like, "Oh, I'm never washing this. This is the best day ever." No, just because I know Kevin is at a lot of cons, and a lot of people like my co-host who asked me here have told me he's a delightful person.
Oh, definitely.
I am economically challenged, so I cannot afford all the autographs I want to get from him. I don't know if Peter does cons, but I imagined he's delightful. So, have you got
He's
a chance?
Donatello, basically. So Peter, that's what I'm told. So
Yeah. So have you been able to meet them, or I don't know, just in general, have you met like other Turtles collaborators? I mean, you worked with in the book you work with Tom Waltz. Do you just like sit down and you're like, wow, I'm in the room with these people. Like, I made it. I'm part of the world. Like, go me.
No, I just met Kevin Eastman in a convention in Mexico.
Oh, cool.
And when they announced that Kevin will be there, and I have to be there.
Oh yeah. And I bet you were first in line.
I met him, but it was really quick, and I was really nervous.
Yeah.
I showed some of my work, and I want to work in something with the turtles. And, oh, okay. And he took my portfolio. I even some copies of my work.
Oh wow.
He 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 gave me one print, and oh yeah, you give me something, I give you something. He signed it,
Wow, that's great.
yeah, it's really good. But I was really nervous, and I feel that it was really cool.
oh
I
yeah,
wanted
he's
to
totally cool.
chat with him, and but I expected the have some time in the Comic Con. I will go this in a few
Yeah.
weeks to San Diego Comic Con, and he will be there, and
Yeah.
with Tom Waltz, and meet with the other team of the Turtles that making the comics.
So speaking of the Turtles, we have a new turtle movie coming out, the one that Seth Rogen is working on, which I'm not gonna lie, looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie there. The turtles just they always like I hate to say it, I feel like turtles will never die. There's always it's crazy. Like there's always new stories to tell. There's always different variations. I mean, I never thought we'd have so many different versions of Shredder, but here we are. So, do you have like I know you said that you growing up you enjoyed the movie Turtles, and then there was also the cartoon Turtles, and you also worked at Nickelodeon, one of those. Like, do you have a favorite? Like, how do I say this? Do you have a favorite time era turtle? Like,
Good question.
I think the first movies are my turtles. That was
yeah,
my favorite, and I love all the things that made well the cartoon of the 2000 the 2003.
Oh, the 2003.
Yeah, I think that was pretty good too.
oh yeah,
Uh, but I like everything that can come from the turtles because maybe they are not for me, but they're
right.
for someone else, and I love that they're so adaptable to all the
Yeah,
Yeah.
generations, and for me that's great. And I really excited with this movie, but
mhm,
if it's not what I want, I don't care because I know
yeah.
that for someone else it will be good and
Hmm.
will continue making things with the turtles.
So
What about the Last Ronin? I didn't know. Did you get a chance to do a variant cover for the Last Ronin?
Mm-mm. I
Like,
wanted,
I
but
figured for the new one you'd be too busy doing the actual series and doing the covers and Stranger Things. So I figured Lost Years, there's no way. So did you get a chance to read the Last Ronin?
yeah, and the hardcover. It was
Oh
it
great.
yeah,
was, it was so
beautiful
good.
book.
Yeah, and I want the new book that with all these variant covers because there's tons of good art too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I picked it up like the first day it came out. I bought like two of
No,
them.
no, no, no. Just show him, Justin. Show him the statue.
Oh, the statue.
Show him
Okay,
the statue. No, you got
I'll
to,
show you this.
Pharaoh. You got to see this, man.
This is
Like
my.
he had to take like a second mortgage out for this thing.
Oh, wow.
Look how beautiful that is.
And then just to show you the other
Gorgeous.
thing, I got the Jim Lawson turtles too.
Yeah, that's a
Are
new
those cool?
Yeah.
that's a new that
Supposedly, like the NECA stuff is supposed to be coming out everywhere internationally. So it's going to be available in Canada and Mexico and England and all that. Like we'll see if it eventually gets there. But I can't believe I walked in the store and there it was, and $150 later, like I wasn't going
Yeah.
to get it. You know, I was
It's
like,
just green paper when you think about it.
yeah, it's
Just but so Pharaoh, I had one question just back to your X-Men. When you were thinking your X-Men, do you go with like the classic 90s team, or do you have your own like ideal team of X-Men that you drew, or do you
yeah,
just like
yeah. Who's on your X-Men team? In other words, yeah,
yeah,
good
yeah,
question.
I grew up with the blue team, the
okay,
King Lee sign, and with the cartoon,
right,
it's mostly the same. But yeah, when they make the comic that X-Men 97 or 90s, I don't know.
Yep,
I really wanted to draw that comic because
that was good. That was a good book too.
yeah,
I think was it Chris Sims I think wrote that. So yeah, and it was interesting too because it was very humorous. Like it had a lot of comedy in it, and like you wouldn't have expected.
yeah.
They fought Dracula, things like that. I actually have that book. I liked it a lot.
yeah, okay. Well,
That's
I mean,
that's
Farrah,
cool.
I hope one day you get to do it, man. I would love to see that comic. I'd be like, hey, I interviewed that guy. He made it. It's drawn 22 pages of quality X-Men. And look, they're all full of people. He did that too.
Oh,
Good go,
oh.
man.
Well,
Um,
then there's the obvious question too. Just looking at some of the history that you've done, who was your favorite Skylander to work on? You remember working on the Skylanders?
Yeah, no, it was when I did this, because I see that the research that you do is from mostly from IDW.
Yeah,
And
most of the IDW stuff. Yep.
yeah, when I entered to IDW, and I entered and I start working as a colorist. I colored the comic of Skylanders, just one issue, and
Hmm.
Mhm.
I really don't know anything about these
Okay,
characters.
that's not a
It was
problem.
Same.
something like, yeah, what is this? But
Yeah.
it's a big gig, and
Right.
from that, they moved me to Strawberry.
Oh,
And
so
I like it more, and I have two
yeah.
daughters that now
That's
really
why I know.
enjoy my comics.
I mean, between that and My Little Pony, my kids were all about that. So,
Yeah.
that's the important. We're going on about I don't know, was it plum pudding and orange orange marmalade? Like all the fun ones. So we
Yeah.
grew up. So
Speaking of kids, so like I said, when we're doing research, I saw photos that you had posted of you and your kid in the past, and I saw one photo. I think it was your kid playing with a Skeletor
Yeah.
at one point, and I was just like, and I saw that, and you had like a He-Man thing, and one of my co-hosts is a huge He-Man fan. Like he is just dying for a new series or a movie to
there is
or
one.
just basically a new comic.
There's a
So
new comic.
well, yeah, but there you go. See, he was dying for it. Now he doesn't need
Yeah.
to die. Um, so my question being is with that is, are you also a He-Man fan? And two, do your kids or did your kids just play with your toys or did you actually get them their own toys?
I'm a fan of all the 80s cartoons, that Thundercats, Silverhawks, He-Man,
Brave
Transformers,
Star.
G.I. Joe, Bracer, all the one.
Yeah.
And yeah, that picture is because one time we was in the house of the grandpa house, and
Mm-hmm.
they they keep all my toys from the childhood,
Oh,
and we
oh god.
started researching, and we playing with this. It was
Nice.
actually the separation of the of all the toys with my brother. That this is yours, this is mine. I will put this to my, and they playing a little time with the skeleton, and now give it to me. Yeah, it's not for you.
Okay.
Take it away.
Don't touch my bebop.
Okay, cool. That was nice, but you're ruining the collecting value. Okay, cool. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah,
Back
I
camera.
have this. I have this. I this. Oh, comics. I brought
Mhm.
this.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
wow,
nice.
that's
Uh,
awesome.
and my little daughter, Daddy, why did you open it in the, you, no, that way, look at him, he want to go out because he has to,
He does, but that's why you have a backup.
but no.
That's great, and I mean you get some inspiration from that. So with Stranger Things coming up and all that, do you have a plan for what's coming next? Are you doing any creator owned stuff? Are you putting out any books on your own? Like what do you have planned for the future, if you can talk about it?
Mm, for me, I want to continue and working with the turtles. I have my own stories. I have this one comic that I not created, but I am the artist, and Mexican comic that I am the artist too.
Cool.
But for me, keep working on the turtles is a dream come true. So that's my goal now. So
That's
after
awesome. Yeah.
this, maybe go back to the main title, and continue working. And I would like to draw something for Spawn too, a cover.
That'd be
Yeah.
fun. Yeah. There's enough
Well,
Spawn titles, right? Isn't there like 3 Spawn
Yeah.
there's
books?
like 3, 4. There's always another spawn. So you know, being a big Spawn fan myself, you know, seriously, you know,
Just for the record, I don't want a Spawn Turtles crossover because it'll go badly for the Turtles. So I don't want that crossover.
eh, listen,
We
and
had Batman, the first one, so
yeah,
I'm
we had Batman, and even that
Well,
I have mixed
that
feelings
was
about.
something funny is because a couple of years ago I made a drawing of Leo fighting
Mhm.
against Violator,
oh
Oh
no
God,
kidding. Wow.
that's funny.
and it was a lot of inspiration now drawing the Demogorgons to
Oh, okay.
because they're kind of similar, and I made that drawing, and
I I I I think what it is it's again it's about finding a story that works for both characters.
Fair, yeah.
And you know, the similar thing, Fero, is kind of the same issues I feel you and your collaborator ran across. Is that when you have two properties, there's all these characters that you want to use, and you have to like set that limit. You're like, oh, it'd be really cool if we had this, and really, you know, but you have to just be like, no, we have this is what we're working with. This is the story. Like, you know, you have to kind of separate your fanboy from your creator. And I think I seem to recall that was one of the big challenges your collaborator said that he struggled with. So I kind of can only imagine you in your work. You're like, yeah, that would be really cool, but like, no. If we get Stranger Things Turtles 2, maybe. But let, let's see how we do.
Well, let's hope. Let's hope for a sequel to the book because I don't know. Obviously, no one here besides you knows how it's going to end. But let's hope that there's a sequel, and then we get some Eddie Munson action. You know, with Eddie playing guitar. You know, and
yeah,
with the
that'd be
Turtles.
cool.
You know, that would
But
be awesome.
that would be pretty cool.
You know, or just like at least Eddie shows up. You know, we don't
Yeah.
have to deal with Vecna. Whatever. You know, it'd be
Oh my God,
something.
Mind Flare working with Krang. Oh
Well,
God,
that's you
that
know,
would be
fine.
crazy. No, whoa, no, we're not going down that rabbit hole. We're good. We're going to stop. But there is one thing I did want to bring up, Fero, is that I saw your Instagram. I was doing the research and whatnot. I loved the piece you did from Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh yeah.
I loved that movie as well. So I thought you just had that nice thing, and they just said that they finished filming the second one, Firehouse.
Yeah,
So hopefully some more art from you from that one if you like it as much as we're all hoping it's going to be good.
yeah.
But
Thank you. I I really love to make some fan art, but lately I don't have so much free time to do it. But if it's something really good, I can resist it, and I have to do a picture, a drawing, fan art
I get
of the
it.
movie.
And
Yeah,
your videos are great too. Everyone here should check out your YouTube page. I was looking at it, and you had a recreation of the original Ninja Turtles cover with some AC/DC music in the back. That was outstanding. Some really
yeah.
really good production quality on that video. I think I watched
Thank
like
you.
6 of them.
Yeah, they took me a lot of time to edit off because they're like, I don't know, 8 hours, and I have to put
Yeah,
it
time
in
lapse
a,
it.
yeah, it was really complicated, and I have to
But
decide to if I continue or if I continue drawing, continue
I
editing.
and that's the thing I always like to bring up to people when people like kind of get mad when artists charge a certain amount for a print or a sketch. I'm like, it took them a long time to do this. They have a right to do that. They can charge whatever they want. They spent days working on this. So you all shut up and hand them their money. Go. You know?
That's
But
that's that's how it goes. And if you want something that's going to be extravagant with more characters, it's going to cost more
right,
and all
exactly.
of that kind of thing. And
Like, no,
you
no,
should be paid for your time.
but you don't
Absolutely.
understand, Justin. Literally, their idea is you pay that man $50, he gives you a full wrap cover.
Yeah,
And
that's
I'm
not.
like, whoa. No, $50 can't even get you a movie ticket. Calm down. Let's back up. But Fero, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been really great talking to you.
Well,
I
we do have one final thing we haven't asked him yet.
right. I'm sorry, I forgot. My bad. Sorry. Justin, go.
What is your favorite topping that you put on pizza?
Whoa.
Don't
I
say pineapple.
I always like the with pepperoni, but I like to with mushrooms.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Okay,
Pepperoni and
cool.
mushrooms. Would you eat pineapple on pizza or would you not?
Come on,
eat
Fero,
it?
don't do this.
I can eat it, but I not support
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, no, it's okay. So
I was
that's
rooting
fine.
for
That's
you,
a very
man.
diplomatic answer. So we'll put that in the no column. So all right. All
Okay,
right.
cool. Because I was rooting for you, man. I was like, come on,
Again,
don't
if
go
he's
down that
listening,
road.
Eric, that's another point for you. So,
Well,
he'll be back from vacation and he'll come in and be like, so Fero doesn't like pineapple and he likes Raphael. And I'll be like, thanks.
well,
It's all good.
listen, he did his Stranger Thing research. They had that whole scene about, oh, Mike, hey, have some pineapple pizza. Oh, it's really good. I'm like,
I had the
sacrilege.
Stranger Things pineapple pizza and it was fine. It was delicious. So
All right, cool. So before we get into that battle, Fero, as I was saying before, thank you so much for joining. We really appreciate you taking the time. This has been great. Honestly, I don't know how many issues the book will be, but I really hope you get good sales for however many issue it is. Then correct me if
I'd
I'm
have to
wrong. Just
imagine
in
at least 5, right? Is it
yeah,
5 or
it's got to
6?
be
No, four.
Oh, 4 issues.
4.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
The first book is out next week, July 11th, July 12th, and seriously, all the best of success to you and all your collaborators on it. It sounds like a really fun project, and I'm actually really excited to get my own copy and be like supporting the artists.
Oh yeah.
Gotta get that man to his X-Men goals. Let's do this.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to a bunch of my friends, and they are going to get every cover that they can get a hold of. I know I was looking at Joel's R Collectibles earlier. He had some that were up, and big shout out to Joel's R. Congrats on the baby. So, but like other than that, I mean, I know I'm going to buy multiple covers of it, and I'm going to read it probably digitally. So I'm
You
excited.
totally will.
Yeah, and thank you because I was like nervous that the people doesn't like this crossover, and when first they announced the Street Fighter TMT, and there was a lot of hype that yeah, but with the Stranger Things I feel like some people like no, it's too much, is why they are not matched, but with the style and with all the work, I think that the people are actually like what they are seeing about this.
Mm-hmm.
The Turtles started out in the 80s by being guests in other people's books, whether it was like Grimjack or whether they were in like Gobbledygook. They were
Mm-hmm.
with Cerberus. They were
Yeah.
with, and I saw you did a Cerberus piece as well.
Yeah.
They were just always with other people, even in their own series. Like eventually it's like, oh, this is Radical and, oh, geez, I forget her name. What's his name? The bad guy, Damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like there's all kinds of precedents for this. Like I have the issue where they fought the Viking heroes, so this is a long history and tradition for the Turtles, and they're the perfect group to cross over. I mean,
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe one day we'll get the Turtles and the Silverhawks, or Matt Tracker and Mask, or My Little Pony. Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows?
And they're the type of property that can make it work.
Yeah.
Because they're just as crazy. You'd be like, yeah, well,
Well-
we eat pizza and came from ooze. Oh, I live
Well-
on a rainbow. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's be
exactly.
friends. It's
Well,
like-
I mean, but it's like Fero said, they're adaptable.
yeah.
And I think the other thing that just
Heck, Punisher crossed over with Archie, right? And
Yeah.
Predator. So
Boom.
you never know.
And I think the important thing is just kind of keeping in mind that this book is non-canonical. It takes place, but it's its own thing. And the second I think people really realize that detachment, that you're telling your own story, but you're also paying homage both to the origin of the Turtles, but also to, you know, the continuing adventures of Stranger Things. And Stranger Things, there have been comics about them throughout the Stranger Things timeline.
Yep.
You know, I think people will really just, you know, accept it and go for your own. I mean, why
They'll
not?
fill in some of the story gaps too. Like you actually get to see a little bit of Will interacting with Max, which I mean, you know, other than them just being at each other's throats, you know, so
Yeah. So, hey, listen, again, looking forward to reading more, and seriously can't wait to see what you and your collaborators do with it, and you know, keep on drawing, man.
Yeah,
what's
thank
the
you.
best place for people to either contact you or follow you? Where do you like them to go?
Mm, I think the Instagram or Facebook
Instagram or
are
Facebook?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
All right. And we'll share that in the
I'm
show
not very
notes.
good with the social media because I just share my things, but sometimes I have a lot of messaging and
Yeah, well, we're not going to tell him to send you a
yeah,
message.
Don't
Guys,
worry.
he's
yeah.
closed on
Sometimes
commissions right
yeah,
now. He's
yeah,
busy. So it's like, but go follow him. Go check out the artwork. Go check out his YouTube, and I'll have a link to everything. I think it's like at Fero Pe, you know, and you could check that out. Like, take a look at his Gambit art. Take a look at, you know, the
Yeah.
cool stuff that he has on there that we have. And again, thank you for coming on. Thank you to my guest host, Mr. Drew Mollo. And for everybody listening, you know, thanks and stay tuned for our pizza recipe of the week.